Welcome back to the Pitch Pod. My name is Joe Janner. With me, my co-host Jeff Stebbins. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Joe. Good to be here with you again today.
And another episode featuring this Group F within Champions League. How excited are we to be having this opportunity to see these matches play out? I mean, we talked about PSG versus Dortmund. We made our predictions there. We didn't go as far as talking about who's going to come through the stage, but this other fixture within this group on the same day, Milan versus Newcastle, another one that I think we're really excited about for a couple of reasons. Jeff, you want to go ahead and get into what gets you excited about this match?
Yeah, well, and to your point, Group F, I believe, doesn't it have a nickname, Joe? The group of what has it been nicknamed?
If they go as far as labeling the Champions League group of death, this one I could see that very well being in line with where we're at.
Okay.
Seems to be the four clubs in this. I mean, again, could go either way. It's going to be a battle all the way throughout to see who comes out the top two to advance.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah. This is it. Group F. It's going to be hard to advance out of this. But initial thoughts are, two great teams going at it. AC Milan, who's coming off a really solid season, going against another quality opponent in Newcastle, who finished third last year in the EPL, which is a huge accomplishment on their part, and I think they're set to do so again this year. So it should be a great match with two really quality clubs, and I'm excited for it.
And I think that you had in previous episodes when we were talking about the Champions League and clubs that feature U.S. men's national team members, it gives a further level of excitement and intrigue to this contest, with Milan featuring two U.S. men's national team, Musa and Pulisic. Is that something, again, you think that will add to the lure of this contest? Something that not only the Pitch Pod, but other American soccer fans, supporters can get behind, is the fact that they have two U.S. men's national team members. Do you think they will be favored by most, or is there any other factors?
I think it definitely adds excitement, but rather than just having those guys on the team, it's also interesting because their impact that they're having on that team, right? Pulisic scoring goals, it seems like almost every match. So yeah, I think that definitely adds to some excitement and draws more of a crowd in than typically. So I would agree with you, Joe.
And then getting to the other side, I think you mentioned a Newcastle that finished third to qualify for Champions League. Probably not against all odds, but I think there was probably, if they were looking at their goals going into the season, maybe a top six finish would have been a realistic goal. But to do well, to continue to be difficult side to beat in last year's campaign. Now, if we shift over to this year, couple shaky performances, maybe not quite up to par there. You wonder how that's going to play into this contest. I was looking ahead at their 25-person selection. I did see Joe Willock. We mentioned that before, him kind of missing, not being a part, but now being able to be inserted into the lineup. I kind of wonder if he's going to be fit, ready to play in this weekend's match in the EPL. Not to get fixated on that, but to move forward, talking about Champions League, how he will then be able to contribute. Was that one of the missing pieces? Is it something that he can provide? But I think it's exciting to see what Newcastle, again, so many years absent from European football, now has an opportunity to showcase what they have done, what they've achieved here in this contest. I think it's going to be tough, though. I think, again, them being on the road, getting out of UK, having to travel, something a little bit different for the organization might pose itself to be difficulty. But then again, at the end of the day, it's about what they perform and how they do well within the match. What are your thoughts? I mean, do we want to cover anything else in terms of the players or the personnel and how they'll stack up against each other, or you got a prediction?
I do have a prediction, but yeah, to your point, Newcastle, they haven't been overly consistent this season so far. So that is something I'm using to help me determine my prediction here. So that's a great point. They've been really up and down this season. Hopefully they will get it together and have another strong finish. And actually, I think I misspoke. I think they finished fourth in the EPL last year. So I apologize about that. Get my facts straight here. But yeah, I'm ready for predictions. Joe, you care if I go first on this one?
Go for it.
Okay. So, man, this is going to be a fun game. But I have to go with AC Milan winning this matchup. And I think it's gonna take multiple goals. I think it's gonna be a 2-1 victory for AC Milan. I wouldn't be surprised if Pulisic put one away, and I wouldn't be surprised if there is a PK. I have a feeling Giroud is going to be called to take that. So I'm going to go 2-1 AC Milan winning this match.
Okay, and I can see that again. I think that what the very specific outcomes that you suggested how they would score it. I think it's very very possible. I flip it to this side. I don't know how often on the pitch pod we get into the rankings, if you will, quote unquote, of the various domestic leagues. I do have a question in the sense, or maybe I'm just questioning myself as far as a Serie A team versus a EPL team in this. And again, even though has been some time since Newcastle has been a part of European football at this level to travel there, I still think if they go here and they get a draw, I think it's a realistic outcome, a realistic result for them. And I see this one going 1-1. I think whether or not it's done in any particular manner, I can't say it, but I think that the Newcastle will be set up. I think they'll be prepared enough to understand the importance of at least getting a point out of this contest in this group like we talked about. And I think they'll get it done. 1-1 draw.
Yeah, sounds good. It should be a fun match with either of those predictions. If they come to fruition, that's going to be a fun game no matter what. So hopefully everyone gets a chance to tune in. It's going to be exciting. Champions League kicking off, and we hope you enjoy it. Take care, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. If you like what we bring you here at the Pitch Pod, please do us a favor, hit that like and that subscribe. Don't forget, we're available on Apple Podcasts as well as Spotify. Thank you, everyone, and keep pitching out there.
In a game, the round ball, round posts, anything can happen.